So today's notes are on distance equals rate times time. You got two sets of notes. One was this pink triangle thing that should have been folded and included in your notebook. So we fold in on the bold lines, fold in here, and then fold in here. And then you also got these purple note or half sheet of notes that should be glued in on the opposing page. So first I need to discuss how to find distance, how to find rate, how to find time. So in class we discussed that if distance equals rate times time, then how do we calculate r and t individually? That basically means how do we solve for r by itself and how do we solve for t by itself. The example that I should have used in class was 3x equals 12. If I want to find x by itself, I need to get rid of the 3. Right now, this says that 3 is times x, but I want x by itself to find out what I am multiplying by to get 12. As you already know, this should be 4, but we need to figure out what to do with the 12 and the 3 to get 4. So, what do you do to 12 and 3 to get 4? You divide by 3. In order for my equation to be balanced, I must apply the same rule. Whatever I do to the right, I must do to the left, divide by 3. So with that being said, my 3's are going to cancel out, and I'll be left with x by itself equals 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I want to get r by itself. I start with d equals rt. How do I get rid of the t? What's happening here is multiplication. Here I perform opposite operations. 3 times x equals 12. In order to get rid of 3, I have to do the opposite operation, which is divide by 3 on both sides. How do I get rid of t? I need to divide by t on both sides. These t's, if I have a t on top of a t, they get canceled out. R equals distance over time, or distance divided by time. If you're like me and you want to see this written left to right so you can read it that way, then go ahead and just rewrite it. R equals distance divided by time, and there's your next formula. We're going to do the same thing for time. So my r and my t are going to switch places. Watch what happens. Distance equals rate times time. I want to get t by itself, just like I wanted to get r by itself. Divide both sides by r. These r's cancel out. Distance divided by rate equals time. Write it left to right. Time equals distance divided by rate. And there's my formula. Now on your little triangle, we've got some example problems to go over so that we know how to find distance, find time, and find the rate. I'm going to do this one quickly because this one should be the easiest problem because I'm just multiplying. The division is the harder part here. Notice you're dividing because a fraction is a division problem. You're also going to be dividing here. This is why you have those 10 problems of long division practice, because division is not going anywhere. And remember, most of us cannot use a calculator on our test. So we have to know how to do it with good old pencil and paper. It says here the Thompsons are taking a trip across the state. Mr. Thompson was able to drive 60 miles per hour over the course of 4 hours before stopping to rest. How far had the Thompsons traveled once they stopped? I need to underline and circle important information. 60 miles per hour, 4 hours. How far have they traveled? These numbers are important. My 60 is my rate. That's per hour, miles per hour. Rates are miles per hour, feet per second, cups per minute. Those are all examples of rate. Hours can be 360 minutes. Time could be 360 minutes. Time could be 100 minutes. Time could be 4 hours, 5 hours, 6.2 hours. Those are all examples of time. They need to be in hour form. So what does that mean? That means if I have an hour and 30 minutes, that's 1.5 hours. You'll see an example of that later on. So on the back of my flap, I'm going to write my formula. I'm finding distance, so I need D equals RT. I need to plug in what I know. D equals 60 is my rate. Times 4 is my time. I can do this in my head. 6 times 4 is 24. So 60 times 4 is 24 with an extra 0. D is my distance, and that is in miles. 240 miles is my answer. Put a box around it. I'm done. Finding rate. Meg left her house to head to work each morning at the same time. She must travel a total of 43 miles to get to work. On a good day, she can get to work in 1 hour and 15 minutes. At what speed is Meg averaging over the course of her drive? Average means to divide. We'll add and then divide, but they've already added up the number of miles that she traveled. So it takes her 43 miles to get there in 1 hour and 15 minutes. This is one of the examples where I'm saying you need to make this a decimal because I can't put 1.5 in my problem because it's not 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours is 1 hour and 30 minutes. I can't put 1.15 because that's not correct. I need to know what 15 minutes is in relation to 1 hour. 1 whole hour is 60 minutes. That's 100%. 1/2 of an hour is 30 minutes. So 15 minutes is 1/2 of a half. If I were drawing a picture, here's my hole, cut it in half, and cut it in half again. This 1/2 of a half is 1/4. That's 1/4, which in your fraction, decimal, and percent chart, you should know this off the top of your head. That's 0.25 or 25%. That's my fraction, decimal, and percent. I want the decimal. So back to my paper, I'm finding the rate. Rate equals distance over time. Rate equals, how far does she go? 43 miles. How long does it take? 1 hour and 25/100 of an hour. So this is 1.25. My rate equals. Okay, now you need to go to your notebook. Notebook, not your workbook. You're actually showing this work in your notebook because this is part of your notes. You need to divide 43 by 1 1/4. If you need to turn your paper to the side so that you can align your place value, then do so. 43 divided by 1.25. This is a rational number operation. We talked about this back in early September. I cannot divide with my decimal in my divisor, so I have to move my decimal to make this a whole number. 1, 2 times. In order to do that, or in order to continue solving my problem correctly, I must do the same thing to my dividend. Take my decimal, which starts at the end of a whole number, and move it 2 places over as well. I know I ran into my next number, so this is technically 43 with 1, 2 zeros after it, divided by 125. At the end of my problem, I'm not moving my decimals back because I'm still going to get the correct answer. Who goes in, who goes out? Here you read left to right, but here you read right to left. This is the only time in mathematics. That's a lie. Maybe there might be another time. But when you're doing long division and you have a long division bar, you read the inside first, then the outside. So this is read as 4,300 divided by 125. I know this is not going to be a whole number because I'm the math teacher and I just know that. So in the future, just in case, add 3 decimal places with zeros at the end. Now I need my multiples of 125. Again, this is why we did our long division practice the other day. This is a 3rd and 4th grade topic, ladies and gentlemen. You guys should know how to do long division. And if you don't know how to do this, then you need to practice. I made a video on how to do them a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week and a half, but I'm going to go over it again. I need multiples of 125, so I'm going to write them to the side. 125, 250, 375, 500, 625, 750, 875, 1,000. Double check. 125 plus 125 is 250, plus another 125 is 375, plus another 125 is $5, plus another 125, plus another 125, plus another 125, plus another 125. 1, 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I need to divide. I write it this way so that I stay aligned with my place value. Does 125 go into 4? If I cover this up, this is 4 divided by 125. That's impossible. Put a placeholder here. Does it go into 43? No. Put a placeholder here. Does it go into 430? Yes. How many times? 3 times before passing. 3 times 125 is 375. Again, I'm doing my division family. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. So I'm at the subtract part. Borrow 10 minus 5 is 5. Borrow 12 minus 7 is 5. Bring down your 0. How many times does it go into 550? So I'm dividing again. 1, 2, 4 times before passing it. Multiply. 4 times 125. I've already done multiplication. 500. How many times? 4. 4 times 125. I'm done. This is my rate. At what rate is she traveling? 34.4 miles per hour. A box around it. You're done. Last one. A train left Virginia at 5:30 a.m. traveling towards Atlanta at a rate of 72 miles per hour. If Atlanta is 471 miles from Roanoke, Virginia, how long did the train travel to reach the final destination? What is important? 72 miles per hour and 471 miles. How long did the train travel? This is not important. It started traveling at 5:30 a.m., but that's not telling me how long it took. This is saying how long it took. It's not asking at what time. I really don't need this information. Unless at the end they say at what time did they arrive. Thankfully, they don't do that, so it's a little easier on us here.